I keep seeing so-called smart people arguing against Trump's tariffs plan, but that's only because they think in checkers, not chess. And yes, Trump's plan is the epitome of 5D chess. Here's why. Replacing income tax with tariffs is a seismic shift, and this idea isn't for the faint of heart or those clinging to the current tax system's worn-out model. Imagine no income taxes deducted from your paycheck. You get to keep what you earn. That's right, no federal tax holding you back. For many middle and lower class Americans, this can mean a significant boost in take home. He's already wrong. That's not true. The majority of Americans making below 50% pay barely anything in federal tax. So we're already off to a really bad start. Instead of funding the IRS's tax collection machine and being trapped by... So this is also stupid. The IRS is probably one of the only revenue positive offices in the entire government. The IRS makes money by collecting taxes. So this is already stupid. Or I'm sorry, not already. This is a second stupid thing. And being trapped by a bureaucratic income tax code designed to squeeze every last dollar out of you. That's all. Okay. Your tax contributions would be automatically folded into the cost of imported goods. Why is that even necessarily a good thing? Do we think that most of our taxes are going into importing things? Or what do you mean automatically? Why is that even good? Now let's look at tariffs as the new tax framework. This plan means the U.S. would replace income tax with tax on imported goods. Let's break it down. Tariffs raise the price of imported items, pushing Americans towards domestic alternatives. By making imported products more expensive, American-made goods would have a fighting chance to reclaim the market share they've been losing for decades. Yeah, because they're more expensive. This isn't just a patriotic pitch. It's an economic boost to American industries that have been undercut by cheaper imports for years. Okay. This is not a this guy, I don't believe this guy's a CPA. Could you be a CPA? CPA is like your first, do you need, what is it, like your Series 5 or whatever? I don't believe this guy has a background in any of this. It's either a bot account, not a real person, or a politically compromised retweets Dave Smith. Good one. He has like, this is like an idiot's understanding, like somebody who's never taken like a year one finance or year one economic. Like this is just stupid. You just don't understand anything. Like this is like a normie's version of like, oh, econ. Oh, well, if we make everything else more expensive, we'll buy shit here and that'll be better for everybody. It's just retarded.
On these companies with no warning, and then all the price of your goods will go up 10% overnight. Here's how it really works. Let's just take, and we've done this in the past. Let's take a company like Toyota. So Toyota is a Japanese car manufacturer.
Pete responded that prices are higher than ever before compared to real price wages. So real wages are wages that are already adjusted for inflation. So that sentence doesn't really make any sense. And I'm pretty sure real wages are the highest they've ever been right now. Our inflation overall, cumulatively, we experience is, yeah, it's higher than it's ever been before. Yeah, there was a lot of inflation the past few years. That is true. But this is true all over the world. Like this happened everywhere. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, do you think that Biden caused it? Do you think Biden caused worldwide inflation? Like, is that what you've, like, is that your take?
Companies with no warning, and then all the price of your goods will go up 10% overnight. Here's how it really works. Let's just take, and we've done this in the past. Let's take a company like Toyota. So Toyota is a Japanese car manufacturer, right? And Lyndon Baines Johnson back in the 1960s said, we're going to do a 25% tariff on all pickup trucks. Now, how do you avoid a tariff? It's not a trick question. You avoid a tariff by making the product in America. No tariff. So Toyota, what they do to get around the pickup truck tariff, which, by the way, they're huge. You guys have seen Toyota pickup trucks. They're everywhere. They make all their pickup trucks in America. Mm-hmm. So what it is, it's a forcing function to redomicile labor back to the United States.
Why is this happened everywhere a relevant argument? Don't we have an overwhelming effect on the world economy? We're sort of the first domino, right? Because everybody around the world experienced COVID. That wasn't America's fault. The COVID and the knock-on effects from that, whether it was the lockdowns, whether it was restricted travel, whether it was people actually being sick, whether it was people dying, people willingly retreating from economic activity because they just didn't want to go out or whatever. Like, these things affected every country around the world. To say that the United States was like the leader in that, or that we were the cause, and if you want to say that, then Donald Trump was the president when it was first happening. So,
not necessarily to just slap a tariff on top of goods coming in. But it's more important to understand this. If we wanted to sell an American-made product like Ford, okay, we are not allowed to sell our American cars in the interior China. They will tariff them 200%. So it's time for us to start reciprocate with tariffs of our own against countries that have always slapped tariffs on us.
Why is China the go-to example then? But Trump is talking about worldwide broad market tariffs, not just tariffing one particular industry for one particular country.
So it's a bunch of fear-mongering, and I always ask people the question, if Donald Trump will give you inflation with tariffs, why was there no inflation his first term?
Wait.
If Donald Trump will give you inflation with tariffs, why was there no inflation his first term?
First of all, pretty sure Donald Trump literally had to bail out certain sectors of the economy because of retaliatory tariffs. Was it agriculture? Trump tariff aid to farmers cost more than U.S. nuclear forces. The Trump administration gave more taxpayer dollars to farmers harmed by the administration's trade policies than the federal government spends each year building ships for the Navy or maintaining America's nuclear arsenal, according to a new report. So Trump's tariffs did cost taxpayers money across several sectors. Number one. Number two, just because you don't experience super high inflation doesn't mean inflation wouldn't have been lower had these tariffs not occurred. We literally, yeah. Okay. This is such a stupid point. Holy shit. Will Congress be stupid enough to enact overall tariffs? The problem is we don't know how many tariffs Trump can enact on his own as president. That's the scary thing, unfortunately. Why I've had a bunch of people email me this. Why do people have never even, they don't read the article. All this article says is Hamas is still like, yeah, we should end the war. Nothing has changed. There's nothing new. It's just the same I've been saying since day one. A senior Hamas official has called for an immediate end to Israel's war against the group in the Gaza Strip and a plan to achieve Palestinian statehood in remarks shared with Newsweek in the wake of the former President Donald Trump's election victory. The election of Trump as the 47th president of the USA is a private matter for the Americans. Hamas political bureau member and spokesperson Bassem Naim told Newsweek, but Palestinians look forward to an immediate cessation of the aggression against our people, especially in Gaza, and look for assistance in achieving their legitimate rights of freedom, independence, and the establishment of their independent, self-sovereign state with Jerusalem and its capital. There's nothing in here is about them like, oh, we're suddenly like, holy shit, it's so stupid. What the But I know reading like one paragraph of an article is difficult, but okay.
It has plagued our politics since before Donald Trump, frankly. I mean, when Donald Trump won the election in 2016, we then spent 3.5 years of people claiming that Donald Trump was a Russian plant and had been bootstrapped into office by the Russians manipulating Facebook. This sort of election denialism is not, it is ugly, it is bad.
It's not even close to the same type. Claiming that there's foreign interference in our election is not the same as claiming there was a top-down effort domestically to rig the actual votes. Like that was led by Donald Trump.
On both sides, it is. I won't even say that what Democrats
on both sides.
That's not true. I mean, if Donald Trump wins this election, I promise you will see election denialism on the left. That is incredibly similar to what you've seen from Donald Trump.
I wanted to ask you.
Oh, where is it? I'm sure it's coming. Maybe it'll happen on January 6th again.
This is a question for you. I'm not going to filibuster, Ben. I just want to ask you. If on election day we have a clear result, right? So there's a landslide in the swing states. And so
we did watch this, I remember.
Someone really wins, right?
What did he say?
If I told you that the losing candidate denied the results of the election and simply would not accept a loss, and even appealed to their most fanatical supporters to come into the streets and just obviously provoked violence on the part of the mob, right? And said, and when asked, what about the Constitution? This candidate said, to hell with the Constitution, we don't have a country anymore. Which candidate am I conceivably talking about?
Well, I mean, I think that, given Trump's rhetoric in 2020, obviously what you're talking about is Donald Trump. I don't think that's how it'd be phrased by Kamala Harris. I think that the way that it's phrased by Kamala Harris is more subtle.
Kamala Harris, if she loses in a landslide, you think there's a chance that she will not accept the results of the election?
Forget about a landslide. How about a close election?
Into the streets?
How about a close election? How about a close election? Forget about a landslide because a landslide.
But the landslide just makes it perfectly clear. I'm telling you that.
Why the necessity for that sort of clarity in an election that's 50-50? Why not actually pick a plausible scenario? The most plausible scenario is that she loses in a very tight election, and then she says there's been voter suppression, and then she suggests.
It's all too plausible. Ben, it's all too plausible because currently the chance that there will be a landslide in the swing states is about 40%, even though we're 50-50 between the two candidates. According to Nate Silver, there's a 40% chance that one of them runs the table in the swing states, right? So it's
for sure. That would be an electoral college landslide. We're not talking about a popular vote landslide in any case.
Right. So I'm talking about a clear result, right? Where no allegations of fraud are plausible.
Okay, so the most obvious sort of rhetoric that would be used along those lines would be Trump's. And then the rhetoric that would be used on the other side if Trump wins would be that Trump has corrupted the system. The system has been so corrupted that people weren't able to vote properly in places like Georgia, which has been the claim that there was Jim Crow 2.0 in Georgia for years. There would be claims that Donald Trump was paid off by the billionaires. There was foreign interference in the election. There would be all of these claims, and they would float around. Donald Trump has all. This is my original claim, Sam, is that Donald Trump is very obvious in his excesses. Democrats and the Democratic Party and Kamala Harris are much more subtle in their excesses, but those excesses are no less dangerous for being more subtle. In fact, in some ways, I think they are more dangerous for being more subtle.
Did Ben ever come out and talk about how unbelievably, completely, and totally wrong he was about this, or?
you can't use a phrase like no less dangerous. Hillary Clinton conceded in 24 hours. That is less dangerous than this continuous provocation.
Sam,
that has gone on for years.
I just disagree with you. I disagree with you. I think that the attempt by members of the media, by Hillary Clinton, who herself said that Donald Trump was illegitimately elected based on Russian interference in the 2016 election, was highly damaging.
How long did she say that for? How long did she say that for? Does she still say that?
I mean, she will. Yes, actually, she will still claim openly that there was manipulation that took place during this. That is true. During that there was.
Just kidding. When you're conservative, you never admit you're wrong about anything. That's the most important thing. Rip Nikki Haley. Oh, that was another prediction Shapiro apparently made, that Mike Pompeo would be the Secretary of Defense, or what were they saying? Bro, anytime this new thing is here.
You think a Harris administration would be better on Israel than a Trump administration?
I do, because it would be staffed by sane people. And what we have, again, do you want Mr. Pillow guy in the conversation with Mike Flynn and who? Candace Owens? Who's going to be in there? Jack Posobiec? I mean, like,
no. I mean, on his Israel policy, Mike Pompeo and David Friedman are the most likely people to be in the administration, and on Kamala Harris's side, it's most likely to be Philip Gordon.
Surrounded by grifters and maniacs.
Sam, I know precisely the people talking to him. So I'm not speculating about that.
Oof. Oof.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.